Yeah, they ain't believe me when I future. Now they tryna get in, but it's too late. We been stacking Marbitz since day one. No banks, no middlemen, just power moves. Let's get it. Yeah.
What's going live? What's going live? What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. We are coming at you live and direct from the only place that is not about 1 billion degrees today, which is my house. Good news, though. I actually have a fan. I officially have a fan over there that is supporting the temperature in here because it is absolutely ridiculous. So anyway, hope you're doing well. Good to see you all. Welcome back, as always, to the channel. Lots to get into, lots to break down in the markets, lots to understand, actually. It's kind of crazy. But first, don't worry, we are going to pump the price of Bitcoin, as always, here on the channel. So if you are in Bitcoin, if you are in Bitcoin, or you're bullish on Bitcoin, or actually just like someone from Yorkshire that talks about crypto, well, I got it all. We've literally got it. Failing that, you get the Yeet merch, which is always worthwhile having as well. So anyway, with that being said, we've got quite a bit to break down. We're going to be talking about Robinhood's latest move, not Uphold, but Robinhood's latest move. So that's going to be pretty interesting as all that filters through. We'll dive into, let me just sort this out. It feels like I'm having some sort of aneurysm right now here on my TikTok live. I don't know quite what's happening. Have I frozen to death? Feels like I have, feels like for whatever reason I've just stopped moving. Maybe I have, maybe I haven't. Let's see what's happening. It's all this kind of internet stuff is just, it never works, does it? It never works as you want it to work. It's all going a bit weird, but anyway, we'll try and get into it. So yeah, we're gonna break down a little bit about what's that going on. I think all the heat's gone to everything. You're good. Hey, thank you so much. So yeah, we'll get into a little bit around that. We're going to talk Robinhood. We're going to talk about Michael Saylor and his latest purchase. Why we should all be still incredibly bullish on Ethereum. Break a little bit on that. We'll talk about Jerome Powell. Is he finally taking a walk on the wild side? Maybe that could be a thing. As well as some stablecoin legislation and much, much more. An action-packed show as always. Right here on the 2-Bit Crypto channel. So as always, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Don't forget, tap the screen if you are also on TikTok as well, because we appreciate you guys for tuning in and ultimately joining one of the greatest communities on the planet right now. So let's say hello to a few people and we're going to dive straight into it. So Tim, welcome. Selmo's here. Greg, good to see you. Craig, happy birthday for yesterday, Craig. I think you were down the boozer, so happy birthday. I don't know if I said it last night. So 37's here. Salmo says Q3 will start the market. There we go. OBS reconnected. Oh my God. OBS having an absolute nightmare. Everything's having a nightmare. I don't like you when nothing works. It's kind of frustrating, but hopefully I think we're live. Yeah, it looks like we're fine. Excellent condition. Okay, good. Jesus, I thought we were off to the shadow realm then for a second. Mike's here as well. Sean's here as well. Good to see you guys. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And then shout out to everybody joining us. Roderick, welcome to you. Judith's here as well. Welcome. Haku's here. Welcome to you guys. Abdul, welcome, Abdul. Good to see you, pal. Welcome. George Gregory's here as well. So lots of people tuning in to us. As always, we appreciate you guys. Sammy's all jumping in at the last minute. Right. Okay, let's do it. Let's get excited about the cryptocurrency markets. If you have any questions, by the way, fill up in the chat. Also, like I said, don't forget locking some of those likes, hit that follow button, and do all of that kind of good stuff. Does massively support the channel, lets people know that we're here, and more importantly, makes people know that they can make money in this cryptocurrency market. Never financial advice here on the channel. We only advise the entertainment factor that comes with this. You know the drill, all right? You know the drill. So, Bitcoin, currently sitting at 107,569. YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming as such videos that experience buffering. Why are you not streaming enough? Why? Oh, yeah, it's a disaster. Why am I getting so many dropped frames? What the hell? What is going on? It looks like just a disaster from OBS for some reason. I don't quite know why. Let's have a look. Output, bitrate, video bitrate, 6,800. I'm going to try and drop that. 5,500. Let me change that. Does that work? Man, something's having an absolute meltdown on my computer right now. I don't know why. I do not know why. My current bitrate is garbage. I mean, that's a bit better. I just seem to have a really unstable connection. Don't know why. Guess it's not going to be buffering. No, this is definitely on my end, but I don't know why. It just seems like I've got a really weird connection. Right. I think we're coming back up now. I think we're coming back up. Hopefully we can keep going. 6,800. Let's try and push it to 6,800. Right. So 5-3 looks all right. I think we're coming back up now. We should be okay. We should be all right. We should not be buffering. I know this is the most boring start of a live stream ever, but yeah, it just keeps dropping off entirely. Like, what the hell is going on? What is happening right now? For some reason, OBS is like just having an absolute nightmare. An absolute nightmare. I don't know why. Don't know why. Worst case. Yeah, see, I'm back up now. I think it's just been a disaster. Hopefully we can try and get through this. It's not the real 2-bit, it's an AI version, maybe. Maybe. Yeah, I'm going to keep a close eye on it. We're back up. We look like we're okay. We are stabilizing. We've just lost loads of frames, so I'm not quite sure as to why, but hopefully this now feels like it might settle in. Right, anyway. So Bitcoin 107,580, looking okay. We're not doing anything too crazy. It's been a very interesting day, though. Markets have been super volatile. What we thought was going to be, in my opinion, very, very bullish. We actually saw the European markets dump the arse out of this, like really dump it, which is a surprise. I generally didn't think we would see that. We saw a massive wick down at the opening of the FTSE, as well as the Asian markets actually did a pretty good job. They seem to push us a little bit further higher, but yeah, I mean, OBS is a disaster right now. OBS is literally a disaster. Why is it? I don't understand why it keeps dropping frames though. It doesn't make any sense other than the fact that it's like super warm in here. The heat melting the signal too, but yeah, it feels like it. It feels like it. Everything's fine. I mean, I'm not streaming. I'm not on my house internet, but yeah, it's like I don't know why. I'm dropping loads of frames, by the way, but it will not hold frames, and I don't know why. Let me try and drop this a little bit further. Okay. I don't know if I can even disconnect and reconnect. I'm not really sure. I can try. Let's just, in fact, I'm going to try it, right? This might go wrong, YouTube, so we'll see. We'll see. Although I'm back up now. Okay, we'll give it a minute. Have to run back in a few seconds. See you later, Kevin. No dramas. No dramas. Right. Hopefully we've come back, and hopefully our stream might be a little bit better. You'll have to wait and see with us. I don't know if it's going to work, but yeah, it doesn't look like it. It doesn't look like it for whatever reason. For whatever reason, OBS is having an absolute disaster. It's having a disaster. We are struggling to hold on to any kind of frame rate. I don't know why. Is the internet all yours too? I think it's me. Yeah, I don't understand. It's kind of dropping again. So it's like it won't hold the... It just won't hold the bit rate. I don't understand what's going on. I actually don't know what's going on. I don't know what's happening. It's just a disaster in here with the shower cooling off. Probably not a bad idea. JA11 says wallets. I don't know what that means. You can use the text to scan private keys and put them into your truck. What the hell does that sound like? That sounds like something kind of crazy. I've lowered it again, and we'll see if this kind of holds up, right? We'll see if this kind of holds up. It doesn't look like it, though. It keeps dropping again. So if we can kind of just cling on to some sort of hope that we might be able to do something with this live stream. It doesn't feel like it's going that well at the minute, but hey, let's see. Let's see where we get to. What we then saw, by the way, is a little bit later on, we actually saw the US markets push the market on close, which is kind of interesting. So we saw the European markets dump the market, which we generally don't see, by the way, followed by the US markets deciding that they wanted to push the markets a little bit more, which, again, we haven't really seen this kind of happen for a while. Where are we at now? We're in a slight area of consolidation. It feels like we are sort of dropping down just a little bit in terms of where price is sitting. So, look, it's not the end of the world. It's been super volatile. I think there's lots of macro factors, whether that be Jerome Powell, whether that be the market, whatever it is, right? It all kind of feels a little bit dangerous. But look, in the longer term, I think we're okay. Right, I feel like, oh man, I spoke too soon. I thought we were okay then, and we just completely wiped out our entire bit rate. But yeah, we'll see. It kind of feels like it's trying to work out, but not doing a very good job of it. So yeah, bit of a disaster anyway. But we'll try and work our way through this somehow. I don't know. So let me close this out. Let me just make sure I haven't got anything weird open. It doesn't look like I've got anything weird open at my end. Everything looks like it's fine. It's just having an absolute meltdown. Gonzalo, what's going on? Welcome to you. So, yeah, like I said, this is kind of where it's interesting. Now, the other bit to think about here is we finally got Bitcoin dominance to come down a little bit. In fact, Bitcoin dominance came down a good chunk, which is kind of nice. And we've had a pretty bizarre move on the market. So we see things like Ethereum moving, Solana's moving a little bit. XRP is now on the breakout, which is super bullish. Somebody scream. I've been calling this for about a week. XRP has officially broken out of this bull flag. So we could actually see a very strong move out on XRP. Let's stay close to this one. Cardano. And then you flip onto the other side. The rest of the altcoin market's a disaster. I mean, literally an absolute shit show. And I don't really understand why. It's kind of wild to me to think that we've got into this world where the rest of the altcoin market is just a complete joke. It's just a complete joke. Who would have thought that, eh? Who would have thought we'd see this in the altcoin market, that it would just sort of end up being a complete disaster? But the wider, broader market is down. And actually, we're seeing a really interesting pattern playing out here on the total market cap of altcoins minus Bitcoin, that it's sort of playing out in a world where it doesn't really know what to do, which I know sounds ridiculous, by the way. But look, if you're in the top tier ones, bullish. It looks like XRP is actually breaking out right now. This could be a very interesting move. We're going to stick with this. But XRP looking like it is breaking out right now. Look at that move on XRP. That is a nice, solid move to the upside. And again, get ready. This absolutely could signal a further push. I haven't seen any announcements. The only thing that's coming in breaking news-wise is the delay of Ethereum spot ETF. So they're going to be delayed for a little bit longer. But hey, that is life, unfortunately. So Bitcoin, good. Bitcoin dominance down, good. Altcoins, on the whole, not great. I think is a summary of where we are today. But there's been a lot of stuff going on. A lot of bullish news going on. Lots of optimism out there in the markets. Lots more positivity as that kind of sits and works through, which is this. The Sparkassen Steigen, ultimately, which is one of Germany's largest banking groups, is adding Bitcoin trading services for retail, client, and accounts. That's pretty bullish. So yeah, exciting to see how that goes forward, and more importantly, where that could kind of end up. So again, another bank deciding to get involved in cryptocurrency. This obviously is a very, very bullish news, and more importantly, therefore, could play out very, very optimistic in the further market move. So big, big news. You've also got Titan of Crypto here that we sort of look at, saying the weekly market structure remains strong with a series of higher highs and higher lows, RSIs pushing towards the trend line. So what we're seeing here is generally the market's looking very optimistic. Again, on a backdrop of lots of kind of stuff coming through Congress, coming through a lot of the US markets. So, again, we are definitely looking for a potential breakout on this. Crypto.com as well, giving us a very bullish outlook, saying this is the 195th day of the sideways Bitcoin price action since December 18th of last year. The trend has been simple but gruesome. All of the great price action has been made in a very short burst, totaling just 36 days. We have now spent a total of 2 years in a sideways price action. If we remove the expansion burst, price looks as if you're set to the bottom. Sideways grind is no longer where the entire cycle, i.e. we are on the cusp of a breakout, I think it's fair to say. You're surviving the slowest overall cycle yet, but it's not finished. I think that's a good statement to certainly discuss as you kind of walk into this. And then you sort of get into this way more optimistic news than we've seen. Can you read the German article out too, bit? Do you know what? I actually can. Do you know I can speak a little bit of German? I actually can speak a little bit of German. I bet you didn't know that, did you? Do you want me to read it properly, yeah? Hopefully I don't get banned, though. I don't want to get banned on like TikTok or something because they think I'm some sort of German person. I definitely don't want to do that. But yeah, I can actually speak a little bit of German. Nothing crazy. Nothing crazy, but let's try and read it out, yeah? Can you speak German, Tamar Pete? Otherwise, it's not going to make any sense, is it? If you can't speak German, then it's going to be weird. I'll just speak a bit of German, but we can try, yeah? We can try. Do you want me to read this bit? Die deutschen Sparkassen wollen ihren privaten Kunden durch den Handel von, I don't even know what that word is, Kryptovermögen wie etwa Bitcoin ermöglichen. Bislang hatten sie das weitestgehend ausgeschlossen, während die, what does that say, genossenschaftlichen Banken bereits sich lange an einen entropischen Angebot arbeiten und das schon in diesen Sommer auf den Start gehen wollen. I don't know if that's right or not. I think some of it was pretty close. There you go. Who would have thought we'd have got to that point tonight? Guten Tag. Anyway, right, moving on dead quick before people start to just unsubscribe like they've turned into some sort of mental channel. Good news. Right, and then in final, just a little bit, Robinhood making a play today, which is kind of interesting, but they prefer crypto as a credit card reward. Last year, later this year, will be launching crypto auto redemptions for your gold credit card instead of cashback. You'll be able to opt and get crypto back on your purchases. That's a pretty big deal, by the way. That is a pretty big deal. It kind of cements Robinhood as a absolute beast in this market. And more importantly for me, says Robinhood are like, well, do you know what? We're pretty optimistic of where this market's going to go. We're pretty bullish on where we want to get to. They'll also be launching a new crypto card design for the occasion. So watch out for that. Like Robinhood, you know, they're coming out there. Pretty interesting, if you ask me. Lots of bullish news. We'll break this down a little bit more in just a second. But, you know, some pretty optimistic charts, some pretty optimistic views. XRP holding up pretty well as well. Solana on a nice little run today as well. So, look, hard not to be bullish on some of these output designs, which I think is good news. And hopefully we'll see this continue and certainly start to print a little bit more favorably, which would be good news as well. So there, the title says Bitcoin makes big move with German banks. Yeah, geschlossen, mate, geschlossen. So yeah, all good news. Yes, Tim, there will be. I've got a call to make directly after this. So it'll be about an hour and 20 minutes. Look out for the invite. If you get an invite to the VC, it will not be in the traditional Telegram. It'll be somewhere else. So yeah, I'm not doing it in the VC because I don't want certain people to be in there. I just want a select group of people that we can chat through a couple of things. So yeah, look out for that invite. That'll be coming a little bit later on. So yeah, good news. Right. Do you have experience with that 37? Who knows what that is? Blockchain bulls join. Thoughts on the ISO coins, Fisherman's Friend? Yeah, I mean, things like XRP, bullish on, HBAR, I think is good. Algorand, I've been talking about Algorand again. People just completely neglect that. Lots of people are very optimistic on things like Quant as well. You know, people still think that's got a pretty solid run to come in. So yeah, I think there's lots of good news stories out there, particularly when you get into the whole ISO 222 list, which I think a lot of people are favoring as a big opportunity. Some definitely won't, but look, I'm pretty heavy in XRP as well as a couple of others, so it'll be interesting to see how it all plays out. In my opinion, anyway. In my opinion, and I think a lot of people, I probably just, don't think they really get what it is, but yeah, I mean, lots of people were talking about this last night. XLM being kind of a big play. We'll see. Quantum Fusion released today, layer 2.5. Nice, Crypto Home. Sounds bullish. Sounds bullish indeed. So yeah, good news. Right, let's break down this Robinhood news a little bit more. I think this could be very, very interesting. But yeah, the mysterious announcement involving 2 altcoins, others faced lawsuit previously. Robinhood, one of the most popular cryptocurrency exchanges, has taken action for 2 new altcoins, announcing it has officially launched Ethereum and Solana staking services for the US user. What the hell is going on, everybody? What the hell is going on? Robinhood jumping on the bandwagon of Ethereum staking, and people still think Ethereum is dead. Very interesting. The step stands out notably development following the lawsuits filed by the US Securities and Exchange Commission against exchanges such as Coinbase and Kraken due to their staking services. So not only have you now got, and this is where the two things go hand in hand, by the way, you've got the ability to then get crypto back on your credit card from Robinhood. You also are going to be able to earn it through staking Ethereum and Solana. Pretty interesting, if you ask me. Pretty interesting. Some may even say very deliberate as this is playing out. Hopefully, we then start to see this certainly be more optimistic as where this goes. And you know what? I think me personally, I absolutely believe that Robinhood are trying to position themselves as a big, a big old player in this space. So yeah, going to be interesting if you ask me, and certainly worthwhile. Hey, 2-bit, smash the like, you should all too. Let's get it, Enzo. Thank you so much. Come on, XRP, break 230. Yeah, XRP's breaking out a little bit. Stuck around 230. 232 is a price we're going to look like. XRP at $10. Maybe. Currently looking at a potential breakout on XRP. So keep tapping that like button. Keep tapping the screen as well, everybody. Hit that like. Let's get some likes in here, everybody. If you're bullish, you want to see the price of XRP, keep going up. Tap that screen, baby. Also, yeah, I mean, Revved Up's just put it in there. The US acknowledges Grayscale's amend proposal to change their trust to an ETF. That could be pretty big as well. We do know that, generally speaking, though, when Grayscale convert their trust to ETFs, they generally dump their entire bags. But still, would show a very bullish outlook on the future of XRP. So yeah, keep an eye on this. This is crazy, though. Yeah, the good news from Robinhood. I'm very bullish on that. That's good news. And certainly when you start to look at, Ethereum as a still big opportunity this cycle, I think this is good news as well, particularly on Solana. A lot of you guys know my opinion on that. Sailor, He's just announced a Bitcoin purchase worth $500 million. Like, get in, Sailor. He's just like, yeah, man, I don't care. I don't even care if your rubbish piece of shit OBS isn't working tonight. I'm just going to buy more Bitcoin. That's what he's all about. Michael Saylor, the billionaire co-founder and executive chairman of Strategy, formerly known as MicroStrategy, closed another substantial Bitcoin acquisition worth over $500 million. If you haven't seen my Bitcoin video from earlier on, talking about strategic reserves and why this sort of stuff is very bullish for markets, you should definitely go and check it out. Jesse, what's going on? Hey, yo, we thought you'd come in and won the marble race the other night and never come back. So good to see you back, by the way. Yeah, very interesting as this moves forward. Strategy acquired nearly 5,000 Bitcoin, 106,801. Like, they just don't care. They're just like, whatever, we're just going to buy Bitcoin. And I don't care what any of you say. Like, all right, crack on. Do you know what I mean? Let's get it. Michael Saylor feeling very optimistic about where the market's going to go. So I'm down for it. I'm down for it, baby. Worthwhile, in my opinion. Worthwhile. Just everyone on YouTube, by the way, man, US stock market closed at a brand new record all-time high. That's pretty crazy, isn't it? How is the signal still terrible, or are we kind of muddling our way through, by the way? I don't know if it's working. I don't know if we're sort of just in a really bad sort of place. I'll try not to move too much, and then hopefully it won't look bad, but it looks like it's got a poor connection. It looks like it's getting better, just not much better. Not much better. So, yeah, we'll try and keep an eye on what's going on. I see a lot of people just dropping off, though, but hey, it's what it is. Right. Decent 2-bit. Okay, cool. We'll take that. We will take that. So there's MicroStrategy's holdings, look, pretty big, with a 74.3% yield. Imagine that. There isn't another business out there in the world doing that, and they should hit the S&P 500 as well. So good, Lauren, thank you. They should hit the S&P 500. So again, that is a pretty bullish, good news story, particularly when it relates back to strategy. So keep an eye on that. Right. If you were in a world and you're like, 2-bit, I can't take any more bullish Ethereum news. Well, guess what? Ethereum's 35 million stake in all-time high signals growth confidence is $3,000 on the next potential charge. Well, the reality is quite possibly. With a massive 28.3% of the entire Ethereum supply is now locked in staking. That's a pretty big deal, right? That is a pretty big deal. The growing lockup reflects a clear shift in investor behavior. More ETH holders are choosing to commit their tokens to yield rather than sell into the market, signaling long-term conviction in Ethereum's trajectory, right? They are absolutely stacking their bags. Thanks, 37. Join the fan club. You know where it is. But yeah, they're absolutely stacking their bags, and they are very much going to see a big move. If you are not bullish on Ethereum, I don't know what to tell you, right? That's just my opinion. Nothing ever is financial advice on this channel. I can only ever tell you what I'm doing. And I think so much is coming to Ethereum. We sort of discussed this the other night. I actually have a video coming out pretty soon that talks about gaming sectors. We're seeing, once again, guess what? Massive acquisitions of crypto. This is BlackRock and many others buying huge amounts of Bitcoin again today. But what you can actually see is there is a quiet, consistent train that is buying Ethereum. We'll see what it plays out today. But look at this, $77 million worth of Ethereum were purchased Friday last week. They are continuing to buy more and more as they are buying more and more Bitcoin, right? Pretty big deal if you ask me. And this is across the board. So watch out. Bullish on that. And I think you're going to see this increase. The more that stake, everyone knows, the less volatility, therefore hopefully that should play out more importantly. ETH is still down over 2% of the month, about 26 over the 6 months. Short-term indicators are showing potential for an upward momentum, and I think this is important to think about where we are. ETH actually up on the day just at 0.6, not quite in at the same view, however, as XRP, but look, still a very, very solid move on that. Poor man, what's going on, poor man? Says 2-bit. What's going on, buddy? Yeah, lagging it. Thought it was my internet. Yeah, I am lagging a little bit. It feels like we're sort of all right. It just seems like it drops off occasionally. Must be the heat. Like, it's crazy. I take it back. It's lagging. Yeah, I must have just dropped, but maybe it's like when I'm like flicking between things. Maybe if I don't change anything, it'll kind of hold up. Yeah, so just, I wonder if it's the actual, I wonder if it's my internet that's the problem. Let me have a look. Must be my internet that's going down as well. Right, let's just take a quick look. Hi, everyone. Been out of crypto for a while. How's the Marbitz doing? Not great. Not great. We had a couple of absolute weapons, just sold everything. You know, those real, like, good people that you like in projects that just completely and utterly wreck your project. We're not out, though. We're absolutely not out. That is an absolute certainty. So, yeah. Circle is now applying for a US national bank license. That's pretty crazy as well. That is pretty crazy. So, yeah. But yeah, good to see you, Wealth Wanted. Good to see you as always. Man, I just want to check it. Like, what the hell is going on? Virgin Media. There we go. There we go. Johnny, evening, pal. What's going on, buddy? Welcome. Welcome to you. Hope you're doing well. Right. There we go. There we go. We'll check. Yeah, it definitely must be the internet. Like 170k or something, Justin. Yeah, like 170k. Right, we're just going to check and see. I think there might be something wrong with my internet, though. That's my honest opinion, but we'll play through it. So yeah, anyway, like keep an eye on Ethereum. That's definitely going to be where it's at. I think people will miss the move on ETH, and yeah, we'll be disappointed. So keep your eyes peeled on it. Good news, right? Here's the big story of the day, and if you haven't heard what's going on, this one is wild. Just join. What have I missed? Not a lot. Not a lot, Johnny. We've been talking about market structure, next move of Bitcoin, all that kind of good stuff. But this is the real meat and tater here today, isn't it? Yeah. All right. So there is a problem with my internet, apparently. Broadband. So there is a problem with my broadband. No upcoming works, but it looks like it has a warning. Improve the Wi-Fi signal. I'm not on Wi-Fi. I'm on the pissing hardwired connection, you massive choppers. Anyway. So, is Jerome Powell going... Thanks, Bonker. Is Jerome Powell truly going to step down? Now, Scott Bessent coming out today saying, hey, if you want me to go and do it, Trumpy boy, I'm your man. And Scott Bessent, don't forget, by the way, is a self-made billionaire, so pretty interesting. But Donald Trump insisted on Fed Jerome Powell to lower the interest rates and continues at full speed. Now, he actually sent out, I don't know if you saw this, the world central banks. Looks familiar. We talked about this last night. We literally had this chart up. The handwritten letter from Donald Trump saying, Jerome, you are, comma, I mean, this punctuation is fantastic. As usual, too late. You have cost the USA a fortune and continue to do so. You should lower the rates by a lot. Hundreds of billions of dollars being lost. No, what does it say? No improvement or no something or other. Donald Trump. So I was talking to who was I talking about this earlier on, actually? Maybe it was you, Crackerjack. I can't remember. Basically, I think the word is now you either reduce rates in July, bro, you're gone. And as much as they would say, well, they can't get rid of him. He can't get rid of Jerome Powell. He can. There's a recent enactment that's been done which allows him the power to get rid of these people. So, you know, Jezza, if he doesn't do it, he is going to get yeeted, I reckon. But yeah, Trump tweeted, Powell and the Fed board should be ashamed. They have one of the easiest yet most prestigious jobs in the US, and they have failed and continue to fail. We talked about this yesterday, specifically relating to those judges. We get that announcement coming next. Is it next Wednesday or this Wednesday? I can't remember. Where we get the official who voted what. Yeah, next Wednesday. So we'll get the minutes from the Fed meeting next Wednesday, which could turn out to be pretty interesting indeed. Stablecoin legislation, that looks like it's going to go ahead, potentially even hit in mid-July, which would be wild to think about how that pushed through. Secretary Janet Yellen predicts stablecoin legislation will be completed by mid-July. This is where I think you'll just be like, boom, a ton of banks come in and all sorts of crazy stuff. So yeah, I suspect he will stand down this week. Wow. Yeah, I mean, we discussed this last night, whether that be a good news story for the markets or not. I don't know if it would be. Last line, Trump wrote, no inflation. Right, get it. Yeah, I get that. I heard my name, but I don't know what's going on. I thought I was talking to you about Jerome Powell. Was it you I was talking to about Jerome Powell? Can't remember. Where do penguins store their crypto? In their cold wallets. Hey! Powell's getting the sack. Looks like it. Definitely does look like it. So, yeah. He is talking in Portugal. Do you think he'd step down? I don't know if he'd step down, but... Anyway, look at this. June 30th, highlighting imminent completion of the stablecoin legislation by mid-July. This is going to be good news. Once again, allowing banks, financial markets, everyone else to get involved with stablecoins could end up being very bullish for markets if this sort of plays out. And then look, finally, Bitcoin dominance, like we said, showing a bearish divergence. All season could finally be near. And we actually saw that. You can see it a bit better here on the actual overall thing where, you know, we've seen this kind of decline here on the daily on Bitcoin dominance here. So again, the top coming in, we want to see this come down. Now, we need to see it kind of go a little bit lower. That's the honest answer. You know, right now we're at sort of a key level here where you could put that across, where we've seen some interesting points of volatility. We need to see it drop through the floor, get its ass back down here. I actually still have my little box drawn on here that we had for such a long time. Probably feels like we could get rid of that box, but this is where we're looking for. This, to me, signals bullish news for altcoins. So we'll see where we get to with that one. But yeah, fingers crossed. Fingers crossed that one all plays out pretty optimistically. As you can see there, MACD is looking pretty interesting overall on that. So yeah, if Bitcoin dominance continues to come down, then absolutely good news. Fingers crossed we'll get an altcoin rally. And then we touched on a little bit more of institutional investment. The fact that we're seeing more and more big plays is pretty bullish, if you ask me. Brandon, what's going on? Brandon says, is CryptoJ still around? He's not around in the channel, mate. He is around, but yeah, he doesn't come on the live stream anymore. He and a couple of other people all sort of fell out, so yeah. I'd love him to lower then. They just don't have the money. They lower and then they pay the interest rates. True. I think he will lower. I just don't know when. I think he would try and do everything he possibly can to hang on to later on in the year, because it means he keeps his job. That's just my opinion. I could be wrong. But yeah, we're not seeing anything switch here. We're moving between about 18% and 22%, so nothing crazy. He's under pressure over those refurbishment costs. Perfectly timing and perfectly executed. Stand down. True. Yeah, true. True. I mean, he's not getting his contract renewed, is he? That is absolutely for certain. So, yeah, we'll see. We will see. But I mean, look, does that September? Obviously, I think way more people are optimistic. I mean, look at that. So the July rate cuts aren't out of the realms of possibility. They really aren't. We could definitely see a rate cut in July. Definitely. And I think that's what Trump's going to do. He's going to say, look, if you don't cut rates in July, you are literally gone, sunshine. And I think the fact that the sort of predictions now are certainly very optimistic for a September rate cut probably plays out more favorably in the immediate short term. So yeah, worth our keep an eye on how that plays out. Whether he will or not, I think will be left to decide. So we'll see. We'll see. Right, that is the news. That is the charts. If anyone's got any questions, thoughts, views, opinions, happens. Yeah, well, this whole big beautiful bill thing. Yeah, man, OBS is just having a disaster. My internet feels like an absolute waste of time right now. Yeah, we'll hopefully we'll sort of see how that one plays out. But yeah, what do you think about Doge? I mean, as memes coin goes, I'm not like super crazy on it personally. Not super crazy on it. Yeah, I think does it have a narrative? Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. But yeah, I'm not crazy about it, if I'm honest. What's it at now? 16 cents in a decline, as is the rest of the altcoin market. What the hell was that? Why did the little Dogecoin come in? That's wild, man. Look at checks down 10%. Man, some of these coins are just a disaster. As if the Dogecoin dog came up. That's wild. Why is it gone? Where's it gone back? Look at that. What the hell? I'm gonna watch on TikTok, YouTube stream so bad. Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't know why it's having an absolute nightmare. I don't know what to do about it. I generally don't know what to do about it. It's just a disaster. Pepe is better player than Doge. Yeah, I agree. I would absolutely say Pepe is a better player than Doge. Definitely. I'll try and drop it again. I think it must just be my internet. I think I'm on 5G on my phones as opposed to the internet on my but I can't do that on there. But yeah, it definitely looks like my internet's down. Buffering, I thought it was my connection. No, it's definitely my end. Code 408 means there may be an issue in your area affecting your TV service. I don't care about TV services. Virgin Media, yeah. Sammy, yeah. The Big Beautiful Bill is a deal done. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, it definitely feels like. I know Elon is trying to kind of stop it going through, but I think, you know, that's where the tax cuts comes in. Allegedly. I still haven't really got into it in any sort of real detail, but that is allegedly where the tax cuts come in. That is obviously where money will go back. No tax on tips, all that kind of crazy stuff. So it's still going to take a while to go through, but I guess that opens up the opportunity to then sort of push a little bit more, and certainly would reduce inflation again. So, you know, could end up being more optimistic than not. So, oops, let me do that. Man, do you remember we had this problem before with when OBS just kept freaking out? It's kind of annoying. But yeah, restart the router. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to. But yeah, it's definitely saying that there is a problem. Improve the Wi-Fi signal around your home. I don't want to improve the Wi-Fi signal. I am hardwired into the internet, so I don't know. It's all a bit weird. All a bit weird. Lauren Babs here. Thanks, Lauren. Appreciate it. Thanks for the gifts. Thanks for the gifts. All right. I mean, I'm getting good download speed. I think where we're gonna have a problem is, yes, it just keeps dropping off really, which is kind of wild. But who the hell knows? Those 56.6k opens, yeah. Pump news. We got banks buying. You got XRP reserves coming. You got Bitcoin reserves coming. The only thing right now that's not going very well is the altcoin market is a disaster. So, you know, it is what it is. It is what it is. So, yeah, I'm not sure what's going on with OBS, but we'll try and fudge our way through it if we can. Move it to the next window. Yeah. Honestly, I'm hardwired into it. Hardwired into it. Right, let's keep an eye on Bitcoin. And XRP is still holding up at 4%. So, nice little move on XRP right now. Hopefully we can hold up a little bit further on that. But yeah, I mean, it's just a disaster. I need to probably restart my router, to be honest. But if I restart, it's all going to go to shit, basically, is the honest answer. So if I restart my router, the live stream's over, pretty much. But yeah, I kind of feel like I remember this last time when it was like super hot. Everything just kept cutting out. Put them coins from other people's lives and save them to give to you. Thanks, Lauren. That's how we do things around here. That's how we do things around here. No, I'm not downloading anything. Not that I can think of anyway. So it doesn't look like it. Doesn't look like it. So yeah. Don't know, mate. Don't know. It's definitely something to do with the internet because I'm just dropping frames and I don't normally drop frames. So it has to be something to do with the internet. Curtis been wondering myself, what's that for? Curtis says, I watched XRP pump 10p, not sure why. Yeah, I mean, XRP is still holding up just above, just under 4%. So we're not seeing anything too crazy. What is that? Maybe that's the helicopter coming to fix my internet connection. It's like, oh my God, what's happening? It's good on Blazer. That's literally the lowest helicopter in the world. It feels like it's coming in my room. Go away. Honestly, how loud does that want to be? Can you guys hear that on TikTok, by the way? Literally feel like it's about to walk through my window. Crazy. Anyway, right. That's that. Good news. We'll close that out. We'll see if we can hold up any sort of connection on, which we're not. It's just a disaster. It is an absolute disaster. What's good on Blazer? Good to see you, man. Good to see you. So, yeah, I mean, look, this kind of Bitcoin move, we're consolidating. Nothing's really happening. It's all a bit quiet. You can see here just trending sideways. Volume is pretty boring right now. So we want to see a little bit more. Again, are we going to see this tomorrow? We obviously see more and more institutionals buying. We see further purchasing power. Look at that. $500 million bought on Friday. That's pretty crazy if you ask me. We're seeing more come in. And I think we absolutely could be seeing a potential XRP ETF filing from BlackRock. It's just my opinion, by the way. I don't know if it'll actually play out, but I feel like that's certainly coming to sooner rather than later. Drop some ice on your PC, might be running too hot. No, I don't think it is. It's the internet. It has to be the internet. I'm dropping frames. And actually, my phones wouldn't stay connected, which is why I've gone to 5G on my phone. So I think I need to restart the router. That's probably where I get to, but I can't do it now. That's a chopper. It's a daddy long legs. Yeah, coming through the window. Right, there has been a little bit of breaking news while we've been live, by the way. So let's just bring this up and see what is happening. Anything super crazy, super bullish? I mean, it's always worthwhile noting, isn't it? Let's see on here. What have we got? So Circle, again, Circle USDC issue a Circle applies for National Trust Bank license. That's a pretty big deal. SRM Entertainment stakes 365 million. Tron going bullish. Just in US stock market closes at a new record high. That is crazy, isn't it, to think about? The fact that you've got the US stock market. What did it close at, by the way? Just out of curiosity. The S&P 500 was up 0.5%, 6197. That is a look at that. That is insane, isn't it? The Nasdaq up 0.64 as well. That is pretty wild. What does the let's have a look at pre-market data. Not that it really did anything yesterday for us, unfortunately, but yeah. We'll see if this kind of is going to do anything for us. This BTC, Ethan, Sol, and XRP, thinking of dropping all my savings in it. I feel like I'm going to probably just kill the live stream on YouTube because it looks like a disaster, if I'm honest. And it just won't stay connected. So I am going to stop streaming. Super annoying. It just won't seem to stay connected. I don't know why. It's just having an absolute nightmare. An absolute nightmare. So, should be already working for me. I feel like it should be at working for McDonald's. Definitely. Definitely. Kevin, what's going on? Appreciate it. Yeah, I think I'm going to kill the live stream on YouTube because it just is nothing's happening. It won't work. Like, it just keeps disconnecting. It won't stay live. I'm dropping frames. It's just all bad. It's all bad news. So,